This is a 30-minute beginner hatha yoga session to help ground you and remind you of your power. A block, blanket, and strap are optional. This is the instructive version that includes minimal cues throughout. The immersive version, where I just pull out poses, is also available. We'll start in seated bound angle. Lie on your back, knees bent, soles of feet together. If you're watching this, you probably know what it feels like to be disliked for who you are, for things you cannot control. You probably know what it feels like to be afraid to exist simply because of who you are. You know what it's like to feel unsafe in your own skin. And you also probably know what it feels like to go through constant waves of hopelessness and resilience. What it's like to be strong and pick yourself up because you have no other option. You're intimately familiar with the ebb and flow of hopelessness and resilience, getting knocked down and then ferociously picking yourself back up. And your body is probably holding those memories. When our sympathetic nervous system is engaged, our heart rate begins to increase because of fear and insecurity, and often we instinctively curl inward as a way to protect our heart and ourselves, and that physical tension accumulates. Today's session is designed with poses to help release tension and feel empowered by grounding into our root chakra and opening up through our sacral, solar plexus, and heart chakras. Just take another minute or so here to connect with your breath before we start moving. Inhale through the nose, filling up the belly, then the chest. Exhale, slowly releasing. You don't have to take deep breaths, just breathe naturally. Bridge pose, knees up, feet hip width apart. Press into feet, lift hips. Push through the tops of the thighs to avoid strain on the lower back. Keep the core tight and engaged. Seated side bend, release, slowly sit up. You can sit however is comfortable for this one. If you want to sit in a bound angle position, your legs crossed or forward. Inhale, right arm up, palm in, bending at the waist. Exhale, left arm up, bending at the waist the other direction. Repeat this, slowly moving with your breath. Just using this arm that's on the ground to help push into my side body this way so that I'm getting more of a stretch. Keep those hip bones both rooted to the floor. We don't want the lifted arm side lifting off the mat. Child pose. Lift onto your hands and knees. Lower your chest toward your thighs. You can keep your knees together or you can widen them to increase the stretch to your hips. Just take a second here and shake it out if you want. See how your hips feel today. Your chest feels. Okay, let's flow. Cobra pose. Inhale forward onto straight legs, sending your chest forward and keeping your shoulder blades down your back. Child pose. Exhale the hips back. Repeat moving with your breath. Last time. Inhale forward. Downward facing dog. Lift hips into tabletop. Lift the hips, straighten the knees, heels toward the ground. Your heel does not need to touch the floor. Just pedal it out here, whatever feels good. Low lunge. Inhale, right foot, inside right hand. Exhale, lower left knee. Inhale, rise, arms framing ears, palms inside. This is too much with the arms up. You can keep them at your side. You can keep them down. Have your palms facing forward. Keep those shoulders open. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lower hands to floor. Exhale, right foot back, hips up. Push away from the floor. Low lunge. Inhale, left foot, inside left hand. Exhale, right knee to floor. Inhale up, arms overhead. Feel free to put a pillow under your knee. You need a little extra cushion. Downward facing dog. Inhale, hands to floor. Exhale, left foot back, hips rise. One more time each side. Low lunge. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale, lower left knee. Inhale, rise, arms up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, hands by foot. Exhale, step back, lift hips. Low lunge. Inhale, left foot, step forward. Exhale, right knee to mat. Inhale, lift arms. Downward facing dog. Inhale, hands to mat. Exhale, step back, hips up. Mountain pose. Walk feet to hands. Inhale, rise to standing. Warrior 2. Step legs wide. Feet parallel, short edge of mat. Right foot rotate. Toes point forward. Arms extended to the side. Palms down. Bend into right knee for Warrior 2. Keep the outside of your right knee driving toward your pinky toe. You want to feel that opening at the hips. Try to keep the hips parallel. Reverse warrior. Flip right palm towards sky. Inhale, right arm overhead, bending from waist. Left hand to left thigh. Imagine opening that right shoulder toward the back of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Exhale to a wide-legged stand. Straighten the right knee. Edges of both feet parallel to short side of mat. Inhale, bend at the waist. Just kind of sway side to side, whatever feels good. If this is too much, feel free to use a block. Bring the floor a little closer. Those feet almost rotated just a little bit internally. High lunge. Walk hands toward right foot. Both feet and hips pointing forward. Feet hip width, not in line with each other. Inhale to standing. Arms frame the ears. of that heel a little bit to keep the weight evenly distributed between my feet. Forward fold. Exhale, step forward, release hands to mat. We're going to repeat this on the other side now. Warrior 2. Take it out. Step the legs wide. Left foot rotates, toes pointed, short edge of mat. Arms extended straight at sides, palms down. Bend left knee, shift weight into left leg. I'm imagining pushing on the outside of that back foot. Reverse warrior. Inhale, left palm towards sky. Lift arm leading with your palm. Right hand to right thigh. Wide-legged forward fold. Exhale to a wide-legged stance. Toes pointed toward long edge of mat. Inhale, bend forward at the hips. High lunge. Lock the hands to the left foot. Toes and hips pointed toward short edge of mat. Inhale, rise. Arms frame the ears. Imagine drawing the inside of the thighs toward one another to help keep your balance. Keep that tailbone pointed toward the floor, protect the lower back. Forward fold. Exhale, walking toward the hands. Mountain pose, rise to standing. We're going to do this exact same thing one more time, both sides. Shake it out. Warrior 2. Step legs wide. Feet parallel, short edge of mat. Right foot rotate, toes point forward, arms extended to the side, palms down. Bend into right knee. Reverse warrior. Flip right palm towards sky. Inhale, right arm overhead, bending from waist. Wide-legged forward fold. Exhale to a wide-legged stance. Edges of both feet parallel to short side of mat. Inhale, bend at the waist. High lunge. Walk hands toward right foot. Both feet and hips pointing forward. Inhale to standing. Arms frame the ears. The goal here is not how far apart you can get your legs. It's about staying steady. I like to keep a little bend in the back knee. Forward fold. Exhale, step forward, release hands to mat. Last side. Warrior 2. Step the legs wide. Left foot rotates. Toes pointed, short edge of mat. Arms extended straight at sides, palms down. Bend left knee, shift weight into left leg. Reverse warrior. Inhale, left palm towards sky. Right hand to right thigh. Wide-legged forward fold. Exhale to a wide-legged stand. Inhale, bend forward at the hips. Option to add a twist here. Inhale, one arm toward the sky. Exhale, back to the floor. Repeat on the other side. High lunge. Walk the hands to the left foot. Toes and hips pointed toward short edge of mat. Inhale, rise. Arms frame the ears. Imagine drawing the inside of the thighs toward one another to help keep the balance. That tailbone. And then toward the floor. Tuck your low back. Forward fold. Exhale, walking toward the hands. Shake it out. Seated side bend round 2. See if you notice a difference in how this one feels this time versus during the warm-up. Legs extended in front of you or however comfortable. Inhale, right arm overhead, bending at the waist. Exhale, the left arm overhead, bending at the waist. Repeat moving with your breath. Head to knee forward bend. Bottom right foot to inside left knee. Inhale, lengthen spine, reach toward left foot. Head to knee forward bend, other side. Right leg extended straight on the floor. Bottom of left foot to inside of right knee. Inhale, lengthen spine, bend forward. Balancing table pose. Tabletop position. Hips directly over knees, shoulders directly over wrist. On the exhale, lift and extend right arm and left leg. Keep your core engaged. Don't forget to breathe. If this is too much, you can just lift your leg. You can just lift your arm. Release to tabletop. Other side. Exhale, extend left arm, right leg. Keep your gaze at the floor to protect your neck. Try to keep the lifted hip parallel to the mat that it will want to lift up. And imagine pushing away from the floor. Child pose. Release your hips toward your feet. Chest towards your thighs. Take it out. Balancing table pose. Tabletop position. On the exhale, lift and extend right arm and left leg. Release to tabletop. Other side. Exhale, extend left arm, right leg. Use your toes and want to feel like you're getting full extension through that leg. Child pose. Release your hips toward your feet, chest toward your thighs.
Okay. Take it out for a second.
Locust pose. Lie flat on your stomach, arms down at your side, palms face up. Exhale, engage arms and legs lifting from mat. Pelvis and stomach should remain on the mat. Head and neck should be relaxed, should be looking toward the floor. Don't forget to breathe. Release and take a breath. Locust pose again. Exhale, engaging arms and legs, lift chest and legs. Release. We're going to do this one more time. Locust pose again. Exhale, engaging arms and legs, lift chest and legs. Release. Child pose. Send the hips toward the feet, melt the chest toward the floor. Bridge pose. Flip over onto your back, knees up, feet hip width apart. Press into feet, lift hips. Push through the tops of the thighs to avoid strain on the lower back. I like to imagine I'm holding something in between my knees. It helps me make sure that I'm taking the pressure off my lower back. Supported bridge pose using a block. If you don't have a block or don't want to do this, feel free to just hang out with your knees to your chest or however feels comfortable. Support the pelvis using a block. Imagine breathing into your mid-back. This feels like too much. Play with the height of the block. Knees to chest, rock it out for a second. Reclined twist, left leg extended straight out, left hand to right knee, twist. Option to place a block or something else under your knee if this feels a little bit too stressful on your hips. Other side, knees to chest. Right leg extended straight, right hand to left knee, twist. See if you can sink just a little bit deeper into the twist on each exhale. Happy baby. Grab outside edges of feet, pulling knees toward the chest. Try to keep your shoulder blades on the mat. Shavasana. Release into corpse pose, legs extended straight, arms down at your sides, palms up. Just close your eyes here or relax your gaze. Just take a couple minutes to think about how you feel now versus how you felt at the beginning. And I'm not just talking about your body. How does your mind feel? Do you feel a little bit stronger than you did before you started? Do you feel like you were able to release some of the stress and tension that you've been holding on to? Can you feel it melting away from your body just a little bit at a time right now? Starting at your toes, working all the way up to your shins, and then your knees, up to your thighs, feeling that release through your hips, through your stomach, breathing nice and deeply, inhaling that belly out, letting it fall naturally on the exhale. When you feel it loosening, melting away just a little bit in your chest, and you feel the backs of your shoulders sinking into the mat just a little bit more every time you exhale. And you feel the loosening around your jaw, around your teeth, around your tongue, around your eyes. And you feel the back of your head sinking just a little bit more into the mat. Do you feel safe right now? Can you hold on to this feeling for just a couple more minutes? Okay, you can start to wake the body back up. Give a little wiggle to the fingers and toes. Maybe you make some circles with your ankles, with your wrists. And then you can slowly make your way onto your side, and then eventually to sitting. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope you know how loved and special you are. Please don't forget to subscribe. There will be a new session next week.